Hi, how are you? Hope you're doing good today. This is my podcast Impact Power, and it's been a while. It's been a while since I was in front of a camera, and when sitting here getting ready for the episode, it was like, oh, how it's gonna be? I don't know. I'm kind of nervous. I have forgotten how it is to talk, and but this is me, and I really want to do this, and I hope you too enjoy listening to this. And a part of me that made me today sit down, um, one thing is that I planned. I had this time blocked in my week to do the podcast, and I just looked at my schedule and I was like, okay, I need to do this because it's on my schedule. And the second thing in my head, it's like it's one of my dreams. One of my dreams to have this podcast, to talk to many people, to talk to you, to share knowledge that I gained that helped me get out of the dark places, and also talk to other people who also face challenges and ask them questions and learn more about them so you can also learn from them. And when I say this out loud, it just makes me so inspired. It makes me want to live my whole life again with the struggles, with the pains, and because it's all worth it. I see so big fire in me that it's all worth it. I remember um, many years ago, Latvia played, my home country, Latvia, played hockey against the big Russia, and Latvia won. And Russia had all the superstars from the NHL. It was like 20 years ago. And Latvia only had one or two. And we had a really great goalkeeper. And he was one of the best in the NHL at that time. And after the game, he had tears in his eyes. And he said, I would live my whole life again for this moment. And that to me was so powerful, because to get there, to play at that level, you gotta sacrifice a lot. You had to sacrifice the parties, the friends, most. You gotta wake up early. You have to do the workouts every single day for years. Of course, you take time off, but when the season is, you gotta stay focused. You can't let yourself slip. You can't not show up if you want to play up there on the greatness level. That's what Kobe Bryant did too. He woke up at 5. He went to the practices. He was 30 minutes, even 1 hour earlier. He was stretching, warming up. He was getting ready to be better. And when the game was, I know when I was a kid, 14, 15, and played basketball and looked at all the NBA players, and I saw memes of Kobe Bryant, and it was like, Kobe was pass? What is pass? Just get the rebound. And we were laughing at Kobe because he didn't pass the ball. But after, and bless him, after the tragedy of him passing away, but after some time I started learning more about him, what made him Kobe Bryant. And he said this. And it's so interesting that I didn't know that before. I thought he was just an arrogant, no pass, just shoot guy. But right now I see why. And you know why? Why? He said it in, I don't know if I read it or in the interview. Um, he said, I know how my teammate practices. I know his attitude towards practice, towards life. If he doesn't show up an hour early for practice, why would I pass him the ball? He doesn't deserve, so I should. And for me, it makes sense. It it's logic. It's yeah. I can't say anything bad about Kobe because he's really, when I think of him, the way he shows up, the way he put his work in, there is no second guess that he was one of the greatest because he put in the work no one else did put in. And he actually inspired people when he was playing in USA basketball team, the national. When the team won and they go, like most of the players, they went out to party and they came to the hotel at 4 a.m. and or 5 a.m. I don't know, but they met Kobe in the morning. But Kobe already was going from the workout. He was sweat. Like there was sweat all over his body. He was like tired after the workout, while the other team just got back from the partying. And they just looked at the Kobe and Kobe looked at them and it was like, shit, we need to do better. And that moment of pain, that shame that the team felt when seeing their teammate working hard while they are just sitting on laurels. Kobe, with this action that he didn't go to the team and say, hey, you gotta wake up. He just did it by himself. He led by an example. And you know what happened after? The whole team got up with Kobe and they get to the morning practices. They put the reps in. And of course, that team was one of the greatest of all times. Because of one player. Because of one dedicated player. So, when I was thinking about this podcast, what to tell you, in my mind, it's taking responsibility. That is the title that I thought of this week, and it kind of sit with me. And when I started to think about what could I share to you, there are two ways how to live. One is you can be a victim of life, and the other one, you can be a creator of your life. Most people live like life is happening to them. That is a victim. Oh, this hurts. It's happening to me. It's making me weak. It's making me worse. On the other side, the victor, the creator, the pain is happening for them. The same example with the morning where the team got up. They got back to the hotel and Kobe was there. And that pain they felt, it was a wake-up call to change to the creator's position from the victims. So when I was thinking about creating this podcast and what to tell you, I can share something personal that happened to me. And I know that we all watch a movie of our lives. Imagine a cinema, and you walk in, you see someone, you see you, sitting alone in a movie theater and watching a movie. And you sit next to that person, and that person doesn't even notice that you're here, but they're so focused on the movie that they don't see that you're next to them. So you can't change the movie. You can't change the characters, your parents, your friends, your study mates, anything. You can't change the movie. But you can stand up and change a movie theater and watch a different movie. What does it mean, you may ask? One book that really tells better than I can is Don Miguel Ruiz. I think it was The Fifth Agreement. He has beautiful books with Mastery of Love, The Four Agreements, and I think it was his latest book, The Fifth Agreement. He talks about this, that we all watch a movie, and that really resonated with me. And it makes me think that I am responsible how I see the movie. Let me explain this more. So I'm gonna start sharing one big change that I felt in my life. It was almost 2 years ago that I drank alcohol for the last time in my life, and before that, it was 2 years of trying and failing, of saying, of waking up with the hangover, saying this was the last time, and then failing to keep up with my promises and doing the same thing next time. Because when you drink, all your problems goes away. And for me, it was a coping mechanism. I didn't know how to cope with pain in a different way, because if you drink, your problems go away and you don't feel that pain. Of course, it comes back the next day, but for just to have that relief for a moment. So I went to this place of hurting myself so much that I just couldn't take it anymore. I hurted myself too much. And I got to this point, that's enough. I have choice to make, to continue hurting myself with drinking, swearing this is the last time, then drinking again, then swearing this is the last time, and all that. It was a never-ending cycle for me, and I was a hamster in a wheel. Or the other way, I just stop. I just choose a different path. And that's what I did. And I chose myself. I changed myself of what I do. First thing that happened in my life, the friends. I used to have friends who called me up on Friday nights and say, let's go out. And I was the same. I called them and say, hey, let's go out. Let's have a party. And we did that, and it was fun. And when I quit, they were calling me, hey, let's go out. Hey, I don't go out no more. What the fuck, Arnolds? You don't go out? Are you sick? No, bro, I just want to make a better life for myself. Okay. And soon after that, they just stopped calling me. And it's so sad and so interesting that once I took alcohol and parties away, I lost a lot of people in time, because we had nothing in common. We had nothing in common to talk about. And I think this is one of the fears that we can all feel when changing, that we're going to lose people. Yes, it is true. And do you want to stay with people who are not good with yourself? Or do you want to meet new people who are good with yourself, with you? And that's what happened for me when I lost all people who drink. My friends doesn't drink no more. None of my friends drink. And I gained new friends. And this is the magic of the changing the movie theaters that we are watching. So once I changed, my characters in that movie didn't change, but I got up and I went to the different movie where no one drinks. And I invited people. So when you let go of something that doesn't serve you, you create space for something new that comes into your life. And for me was people who don't drink, people who have same interests as me, people who are really excited to wake up and fight for their lives, to do something good for themselves, people who meditate, who are spiritual, who believe in that they are the creator of their life. And so I created this space for new people to come in, and they resonate with me and I resonate with them, and I'm so happy to have them. If I would have clung to the people who they think they want the best for me, and I don't blame them and I can't say anything bad about them, but it's not the best for me. Like, if I'm in pain, they would call up, hey, let's go out, let's drink away this pain. And yeah, we have fun. We did some drugs and it was fun. The pain went away, but in a long term, the pain just got bigger and bigger till. So amazing things happen when you change yourself, you change the movie theater. And this even grew bigger. My parents and I, we were used to, when we were traveling, we would just drink wine on the evenings and just chill. And they saw me that I stopped drinking. And right now they don't even ask if I'm gonna drink. They know that I'm not gonna drink. And after some time, my dad and mom, they started telling me how alcohol affects them, that it is bad for them. And I didn't even say the word. I didn't do anything except changing myself. I didn't want to change the characters in the movie. I changed myself and therefore changed the movie theater. So my parents started talking about how alcohol is bad for them. And they say, yeah, I used to drink more. Now I drink less. And I was just sitting there and happy for them. And I didn't try to change them. I wasn't sitting in the movie and screaming at the at the screen and say, stop drinking, it's bad for yourself, it's gonna kill you, it's gonna cause multiple health issues, and you're gonna die, and you're gonna lose money, you're gonna lose family, and it's all gonna be a mess. I didn't do that. I didn't do that. I took these things, what I just said, and told myself, if I keep on drinking, I'm gonna lose money, I'm gonna lose health, I'm gonna lose my dreams, I'm gonna lose family, I'm gonna lose my kids, probably never gonna have kids. I'm gonna mess up something else. I'm gonna have another crash. You know, half a year before I quit alcohol, I had a crash on my motorcycle. And half of my ass was with the street, and half my back was with the street sickness. It was like meat. It was red. It was so painful. I couldn't sit for a week. And as you see, I hurted myself so much, but I wasn't trying to hurt me. I was just reacting. I was a victim of life. So when you take responsibility of your actions, when you start changing yourself, you also change the movie theater, and the characters in the movie changes. That was the first thing that happened. Alcohol was the first thing that I noticed. The second thing is when I quit alcohol, I think it was a month later, I quit alcohol, and I wasn't sure that I'm going to stick to it because I failed multiple times before. I said, I'm going to quit, and then I kept on drinking after some time. This time, I was really afraid to go back. So I said, I'm going to do everything in my power to not go back. So I started learning about God, and I said, okay, let's go to church. Let's see how that is. And a month after I'm sober, I went to church, and I really loved what I hear. I heard the guy said about telling his story that he used to run after money. He used to don't care about people. He used to was a businessman that played this game of you lose, I win. And then he got pain and he transformed his life, and then he found God. And he's telling the story. And I was like sitting there, oh, that resonates with me. I really feel something inside. I like that. So I started going to church. And I didn't tell, in Latvia, a lot of people wear crosses. And a lot of people, but no one talks about God. It's like a taboo thing. It's like if you believe in God, then you're like some kind of a Christian, some kind of a religious person, and you're weird. That's the attitude that, like, I was that too. Like every time someone talked about God before I went to church, it was like, oh, you're weird. You're talking about God. You're like Flanders from The Simpsons, something like that. When I started going to church, I felt this. Every Sunday, I came out of the church with feelings of love, with feelings of connection to higher power than me, to something that created me. I connected with that force. And I met an amazing pastor, teacher. He's young, and we had great talks together, and I really liked the atmosphere and how friendly everyone was. And I didn't tell my parents because, yeah, I would be Flanders from Simpsons telling my Homer, I'm going to church. They would laugh at me. So what happened? I didn't tell. After some time, I don't know how exactly it happens, but we started talking about this. And I said, okay, yeah, I go to church. That's it. And if they asked me questions, I answered them briefly, but not too much. After some time, my dad, who's like, he doesn't talk about God, he doesn't talk about any higher power, he is a really physical person. He's really hardworking, and I look up to him really. But his spiritual part is, I don't want to say non-existent, but not evolved. But any other areas, like he's one of the smartest and wisest guy that I ever know since a childhood. And but the spirituality is like really not his thing. And imagine that person he has a business, he works hard, and doesn't talk about God, doesn't talk about soul. If sometimes if the death is mentioned, he's like, no, let's not talk about this because that's bad. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm saying this is as for me too. I didn't talk about that because we fear death. That's bad. That's, if someone dies, it's really sad and bad. So after some time that I went to church and we had these family gatherings, I heard my dad say something, and that he says, only God knows. And I was like, shit. It was like, wow. I didn't come to my parents say, hey, I'm going to church. God is there. God created us. We are God's children. We have to read the Bible and do what the Bible says. Don't cheat, don't lie, don't steal, and all that. I didn't do that. I started to learn these lessons myself. and started to live them. And they felt my change. And they changed because they saw me change. Like, I'm saying this to you, but maybe that's not how it works. But I don't know how it works. But the lesson is, once you switch the movie theater, you can switch the characters. But if most people, they scream at the screen, believe in God, take responsibility, stop being a victim, you are the creator. They sit in the same movie theater and they scream at the screen and they wonder why nothing changes. So the only way how to live a different life, live a different movie, because this is really a movie and we all see a different movie. It's to change yourself, and when you change yourself, you will see how it reflects on the movie. If you change the movie, you're not gonna change it because you can't change the movie. It's like cause and effect. If you believe that the movie is the cause, you cannot change the cause. Wait, am I correct? No, if you believe that movie is the effect. So cause is something when happens, and then effect is the effect of something that happened. If you try to change what happened, if you don't try to change the cause, if you don't understand that the cause is the one watching the movie, if you don't take responsibility of that, most people are trying to change the effect, the movie. They don't see themselves as the one responsible for having this movie. And I shared you two big examples. And wait, I'm going to share another one. I just remembered it. It's also about my father. Like, in our lives, we have people that trigger us the most. And the victim would be that person is guilty, that person is worse, that person is like, he's the bad, he's guilty, like he's one to blame. They don't look at themselves. They don't ask the question, why do I need this person in my life? What is this person triggering in me? Because every emotion that you feel is in you. And we all have this one person in life that triggers us the most. And for a long time, I was blaming the other person. Like, you are this. You don't see this. You don't value me. You don't love me. You. I never asked a question about me. I had never asked about, why do I need this person in my life? What does this person trigger in me? When I started asking these questions, I started really being grateful for. I saw this person who triggers in me the emotions, because otherwise I would have these emotions in me non-triggered, and these emotions not expressed would cause a big mess in my body. So I started to become grateful for this person to trigger in me, because if I didn't have any triggers in me, this person would not trigger those in me. To put it in other ways, it's the whole idea. Victor, the creator, or the victim. Victim blames other people. Creator takes the responsibility and asks those questions when I'm sharing to you. It's a simple example of my life. I'm driving, and sometimes people in front of me drive really slow. And years ago, I was one of the angriest drivers. I would curse, I would be angry, I would just be stressed. And not lately, but a year ago, I would say, I caught myself feeling triggered when someone in front of me was driving slow. And for example, there's a one lane there, double line in the middle of the road, so I can't go past him. And if the speed limit is 70 and the person goes 65, in Latvia we can go 79, even 83 on the speedometer, and nothing's going to change. There won't be a ticket. And I was being reactive. I screamed at this person, please drive, not please, but go, please, go, drive, normal. And it just made me mad. Then, learning about being a creator, learning about being a victim, I took a breath in and I said, just thank you. Thank you for revealing in me something that I didn't see before, something that I couldn't see before. And you know what happens? I stopped being triggered by these drivers. Right now, I don't see them. There's no driver in front of me who drives slow. This is a true story, you can believe or not. But once I stopped being triggered, the effect stopped happening. And this is just a simple example with explanation of what I'm about to tell you. So the third thing about my father, he can say something that triggered me so much that I just want to go into the ground and just run away and just hide and go away and angry, disappointed, sad. And we were driving, me and my dad and mom, and he started his way of expressing himself. And I felt the trigger in me. Once I learned about all of this, I caught, this is triggering me. I took a breath in, took a breath out, said, okay, I'm just gonna feel this trigger. What this trigger is in me. What are these feelings that I feel? I stopped thinking about the person causing me these triggers, but started thinking about, what is this trying to teach me? What do I have unfreed in me that I need to release? What is there in me? I switched whole my attention of me, of the person watching the movie, not the movie itself. I took a breath in, and it was hard to be there. It was hard to sit with the trigger, but I knew this is perfect situation for me to learn. And I do believe we all get challenges and challenges that we all can face. We don't get more than we can take. So, grateful. This is the moment to work on this. This is the moment that I have elevated myself to actually fix this trigger. And if you don't fix this trigger, if you hide, like I said before, if you go into the ground and hide, this trigger will come back in a different person or in a different situation. And I just sit with that trigger. And you know what happened? I didn't respond. I didn't react. If you get triggered sometimes, you want to prove to other person something else. You start screaming at him. It's like sitting in a cinema and watching the movie and you start screaming at the screen. It doesn't work. And we all had those situations where we react, where we got triggered, we got angry, and then we, boom, hit the person with our words, with our reaction. And we worsen the experience, the situation For example, in your relationships, if someone didn't listen to you, you can attack the person. You never listen to me. And the other person, but you also don't listen to me. And then you started fighting to each other and nothing helps. But if you come to this from this place of, hey, I feel like I'm not being listened to. How can what can we do about this? Like, come to this place come the to talk with not being reactive, not being with anger or some other emotion. So I was driving, my dad was next to me, and I just took a breath in and I said, okay, I get triggered. Give me that. Take it. I love it. I told myself I love it, but my inside was like crashing. And I was like, I want to punch. I want to scream. But I'm not going to do that because that's reactive. And beautiful thing happened. I took it. And it stopped. And then we started to talking about my dad. And he started sharing about his childhood, about his parents, about how his parents treated him. And I was sitting there, I was like, what the fuck is happening? Like, this is, like, I was being triggered. I transformed my trigger, and I just took the trigger. I didn't react. And then we actually started talking about why. Like, I don't know if my dad knew, but I knew that my dad is like that because of his parents. And it's unconsciously, like, we pick up patterns from our parents and we react. And he was reacting, but now is the trigger, if it makes sense. And later on, we have one of the deepest talks, all of us three together. And the core idea was, hey, Dad, we are with you. We are here to support you. We are family. We stick together. This was one of the last things that we agreed on. I could have reacted. I could have said, fuck you. You always tell me these things. You always say these bad things to me. You always blame me. I could have been like that. But I chose not to do it. Because I knew reacting won't solve this. I took responsibility. And I just simply stood up and changed the movie theater. And this happened in 50 minutes. You know, I told you, if you hide, if you run away from the trigger, it will come back. And this last story that I want to share to you is my family friends, a husband and wife, and the husband is sick. And they were facing some problems relationship-wise. And what I heard, they didn't solve them. And the wife was triggered so much by the husband. They tried, but it seemed like they went on the wrong path. They didn't have the right tools to really help. And interesting thing happened. So the husband dies without resolving the trigger that the wife felt. And not long after that, the wife goes to job, and in the job, they have a new person come in, and this person triggers the same emotion that the husband did. So, for me, what I tell to you, it all makes sense. If we don't fix the trigger in us, if we don't fix ourselves, the same thing on the outside will switch faces to come and trigger us on the same thing that we haven't yet solved inside the trigger. It all makes sense to me. But if person is thinking, as a victim, life is happening to me, Like, I'm not responsible of that person because this person is blaming me. This person is doing hurt to me. This person is like making my life a hell. This person is, I blame him. With this mindset, people stay in the same movie and they scream at the screen without realizing that they are responsible for watching that movie. And the only way to really switch the character in the movie is when you stand up and go and see a different movie. So I appreciate you being here and listening to me talk. And I hope this makes sense to you. I hope this helps. I hope this is something to listen to and to think about your life, where you don't take responsibility of how you are, where in your life where you too much focused on the outside, on the effect. So let me remind you, you are the cause. You are the creator. If you want something outside to change, you gotta change yourself. And you don't change yourself to change the outside. That's not the point. You change yourself because you want this for yourself. The same with me with alcohol. I chose not to drink because I thought this is better for me. Not that I want to change other people. Of course, I love other people. I love you when you listen, and I would love to change you. But that's not in my power. I can only change myself and see you change yourself and inspire you to take chances, take the best options for your life. And when you do that, it makes my heart full. Like nothing in life feels better than seeing other people just flourish. I love that. I love other people loving their lives. And with this, I am doing my part as how I can. So I hope this helps. I hope you you see your life. Take a look at your life and see, maybe, just maybe, you act sometimes as a victim, as wanting to change the outside without changing yourself. So I appreciate you hanging out with me in this time, and hope you have a great day, and see you next time. Bye.